Hi guys, and welcome back to IE and Besties. I'm Michelle Calderon, Tanahara.
I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we are back with another episode. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Yeah. Did we turn up?
Merry Christmas. No, wait,
Merry
this
Christmas.
is coming out the 28th.
Oh.
This is coming out the 28th?
Yeah.
But still, Happy New Year,
Happy
besties.
New Year.
Merry
You know.
Christmas.
Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year.
Happy all that.
What are you guys doing for New Year's?
Dude, I work. I work
No.
in and out. They did me dirty. So I'm going to work 5 to 11 on New Year's Eve. And then the next day I work at 8 a.m.
What?
And I'm going to take a half, so I won't be off till like 4:30. So my whole day's going to be gone.
Oh, no.
That sucks.
It does suck, bro. I'm like, it's boiling my ears because I'm like, every year I work the holidays, but hopefully next year that changes.
Does your family ever tell you anything?
Yeah, they kind of get sad. Like, and I get home drunk. I mean, I get home drunk. I'm on work sounds fun. I'm like, yeah, actually,
Love that for
I'll be
you.
slapping the shots. No, but I get home and everybody's like lit. Well, my parents don't really drink, but
Yeah.
like last year I know we had family over and they were all like drunk, and I was like, I wish I was there for that because they never drink. So I was like, but anyways, yeah, this year we're gonna work. You know, bringing in.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
What are you guys gonna do? I'm like, let's go. What are you guys gonna
What are you doing, Vanessa?
Dude, I still don't know yet.
No
I have
plans.
no clue yet. We'll see. I feel like every year I usually just like play by ear. I don't really have plans until like the time gets closer.
Do you spend it like with your son, or is New Year more like a you guys kind of holiday?
He's just 2.
Yeah.
So what did we do? Yeah, the last year we did spend it together as a family. Even when he turned. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, both years. Yeah.
You're like, so yes.
yeah, these past 2 years, yeah. But yeah, so I feel like maybe my New Year's will look different from now on. Who knows? We'll see.
Does he notice like when you guys leave?
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like he probably does. But since I've always worked and, you know, his dad and I weren't together that long after we gave birth, he's always been used to kind of going from my place to his place.
Okay.
So he's kind of already used to,
He's all chill.
Yeah. He doesn't like get very
Emotional.
no.
Me finishing all your sentences.
No, thank God, because I feel like it would break my heart. Like if
Yeah.
he were to like cry or anything like that, I would like not be able to leave him. So I'm glad that he's strong for me.
That's cute.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna go to Zion. We rented like an Airbnb.
Oh, babe.
I'm like, I'm jealous.
Be with
I'm
you.
gonna go hiking. It's because I feel like every year I throw a party, or not every year I throw a party, but every year I party. And I was like, like this year sucked. I need to do something
Yeah.
different.
You know,
Dude,
blacked
that's
out.
sick. How long
Probably.
are you there for?
We're going for 3 days, only because we're going to Utah. So I feel like
dope.
no. Like we got the Airbnb in Utah, and I didn't feel like it was worth it if we just went for like 1 day or like 2.
Yeah, no, of course.
Because then you have to drive and then set up.
And you're
and-
gonna be hungover as fuck. What
yeah,
the
fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. Nothing crazy.
Hungover.
Ooh.
Talk about hungover. Blackout stories.
Oh, God.
Blackout. Like, have you blacked out on like New Year's or like in general?
Actually, I have a funny story about the first time I ever blacked out. I was like 15 in Mexico.
girl.
Well, you already know Hispanic
I know.
people, like,
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck.
What's the legal drinking age? Isn't it like
It's
over there?
18.
Yeah. But at your house.
At your house?
There, you know, my
Turn
parents
up.
have always been like, you know, you can drink as long as we're around. Well, at least when I was that age. So I was 15. And it wasn't like, well, I don't know. I guess I wasn't sneaking drinks or anything, but my parents weren't monitoring me either because it was like a party. So, you know, I was just like doing my thing.
Yeah.
And because I wasn't really a drinker at the time I was 15, I just was kind of going ham. And you know what? It was actually for New Year's as well. And I was just like throwing them back. And it was at the time when those like pasties were a thing. Like they were barely starting to be a thing, like the squishy ones that you just stick onto your boobs.
Yeah.
And I was wearing those under a crop top that like flows. So I didn't have anything like to support me. So, you know, I got drunk off my ass and I was dancing. You know, obviously you sweat. And literally you can already imagine what happened. I was in the dance floor. It was a circle and it was my turn. And of course, I had to be in the middle of the fucking circle when it happened. My fucking pasties fell, dude. But like the gummy ones. And like they fell on the floor.
Was everyone like,
yes, literally everybody looked to the floor. And then one of my guy friends, he was like, se le cayeron las chichis a Vanessa. And then we just started laughing. Thank God I was drunk, so like I just laughed it off, and like
my
everyone just
God.
laughed. But then the funny thing is I laughed, but then like it hit me like moments later, like that was really embarrassing. But nobody like said anything like mean or anything.
Yeah.
Everyone just laughed. And then I picked up my boobs and I went to go sit on top of my mom. She was like sitting at the table with all the tias. And I was like, Mom, they all laughed at me. And like at that, I started crying, but I was like, no way. And then at that point, my mom said that she feels like at that moment I blacked out because she said I went inside and like I just knocked out on the couch. Dude, I have no recollection of sitting on her crying. I don't remember going in to lay down. And I just woke up, dude, like all retarded on the couch, smelled like straight beer and nasty ass breath. Like, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Dude, it could have been worse. Your titties could have flown out. Like your
God.
actual titties.
You know
Really
what?
quick, when the pasties fell, like, did you pick them up or like what? Like,
Well, at first, everyone kind of paused and just looked at the floor. And then I just picked them up. I was like, I guess I can have these on. So then,
I feel like, you know, like in the movies when everyone's like partying and all of a sudden it's like, like that's what I'm imagining right now.
Like that, exactly like that. But yeah, it's all good. We were
That's
with family,
fucking hilarious.
so.
Honestly, I hated those pasties because you could always see the outline of it. At least when I would wear the ones I wore, always like if it was a little flower ones, I would wear a shirt, but you could see like the little flower outline. That shit got on my nerves.
Wait, I don't. Are you talking about like the thin ones, like the they look like a sticker almost, or no?
No, they're like the little jelly ones.
Okay, yeah, no.
Jelly.
I don't know if you
No
thought.
jelly.
I'm talking about like they look like pink. They look like almost like chicken
I know
cutlets.
what you're talking about, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, like a chicken breast.
Like a little
Yeah,
jelly.
yeah, It looks like that. Yeah, it was that.
I like playing with those.
Yeah, it feels good, huh?
Once you take them off, you're just flapping them around.
Yeah.
Have you ever been blacked out?
So like, unfortunately, growing up, I didn't really drink. So like, when I got older, I was like,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, I know. So actually, this was recent. So I got a sponsorship or like a little promo from a restaurant called Calderon. It's in Chino Hills. And they reached out to me and they're like, hey, you can bring a friend and like everything's going to be on the house. Just like post her. So I was like, yeah, dude. Like, I was like, hell yeah.
I can do that.
So I bring my friend, I bring Bella. I think you guys met Bella, and then Vanessa. And it's just a group of 4. And as soon as we walk in, they start like, no, as soon as we walk in, I was like, hi, I have like a reservation. And the girl's like, well, reservation. And I was like, Miss Girl, don't play me right now. I pull up the emails and I'm like, yeah, your like social media manager just messaged me.
Yeah.
So they got that cleared. And as soon as they found out like who I was, they're like, oh, they're like, go to the bar, go to the, I was like, let's go, girls. So as soon as we go to the bar, they start fucking just handing us drinks. And I
Like
don't even,
shots or like mixed drinks?
just first mixed drinks. And the first big no-no for me was I hadn't ate shit all day. I walked in there and I was like, fuck yeah, party.
Red flag.
Red flag. Turn up. So turn up. We're at the bar and they seat us and like the whole night they're just bringing us fucking. Now they start bringing us shots, fucking more mixed drinks. They bring us food, but at this time I don't fucking touch the food because I'm like, fuck this shit. These drinks are fucking bomb. The place was bomb.
Yeah.
The place was bomb. I don't even know how I left. I know I was on Instagram Live, on TikTok Live, and they took away my phone. We're supposed to go to the club after.
Didn't make it.
Didn't make it to the club. I know I threw up, which sounds absolutely disgusting, but I had an 8, so we're just gonna give me the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting. You know, I woke up and I was like, I'm not home.
You weren't, dude.
No,
Honestly,
I
that
wasn't.
feeling is so horrible. Like you wake up and you're like, oh my god, like where the hell am I?
I was like, where the fuck am I? I look and I'm like, this is not my room.
Where
I look
were
at the
you?
time. It was barely 1 o'clock at night. I was like, bruh, I'll
Wait.
pass.
Oh, so you like day drink?
No, we went at like 7 or 8, and I don't know what time we left, but I was like passed out, but like, and it was 1 in the morning.
Damn, I would have not woken up till the next day.
No, for real. I woke
Where
up.
were
and
you
I
at?
was
Your
like,
friend's house?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thank God, but if not, I would have been. Now it was done.
When you guys drink, do you ever like wake up at like 6 a.m. for no like reason?
Always, dude.
I hate
It's
that
the worst.
shit. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
I'm like trying to sleep, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, it's probably like 3 in the afternoon, and I
Yeah.
check and it's like 6:30.
Yeah. Dude, fuck
fucking
that
hate
shit.
Water.
And then like you go back to sleep and then you wake up. Well, at least in my case, and I have like terrible anxiety, and then I'm like, fuck, I want to go back to sleep.
No, dude, I
So
hate
bad.
like when you wake up at 6:30 and then you feel fine and you're like, woo, like I don't have a hangover.
Yeah.
And you go back to sleep and wake up and you're like, shit, like
Feel
this
like
is
shit.
it. This is where it's hitting me. Fucking hate that. Honestly, I stopped drinking because of that reason. Like hangovers just traumatize
Like,
me.
what's your best blackout story? Like your best.
my
There's a few.
best? There's so many.
I think I already know which one's the best.
Which one?
The one you talked about the other night about the concert.
That is not. I was drugged.
Dude,
that is definitely not my best one. Definitely got drugged that day. I think the funnest time. It's because when you black out. I don't know. Dude, I blacked out so many times.
Yeah.
My most recent one was at my niece's baptism.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was.
It's okay, babe. She won't remember.
Dude,
okay,
yeah,
baby.
no. And I have like little video of like me carrying her, and I'm like, who the fuck let me? Like, I could have dropped this child.
Oh my God.
But it was because I don't know, somebody took like bottles. Or no, the mixed drinks they were making were really gross. So we were like, okay, we'll just stick to shots. But I was like, I'm not going to drink that much because it's my niece's baptism.
Every time you say you're not going to drink that much, just know you're going to black out that night.
Dude, literally exactly what happened to me.
For real.
But I was responsible and I didn't black out until literally the party was over.
Oh,
like I was fine pretty much all day. And then like 12 hit.
Queen.
And like it was raining and my mom was carrying my niece and it was like pouring rain. And I was like, no, I got you with the umbrella. And like my mom was over here and I was with the umbrella like over here. So that's when I realized that I was like, okay, maybe I'm a little blacked out. But there's so many. Honestly, I blacked out a lot. I blacked out more than I have not. Like out of all the times I drank.
Queen.
But I always have people like that are like, I don't black out if I'm not with someone who's.
That you trust.
Yeah, exactly. And my boyfriend's
agree.
pretty nice. He always picks me up.
Aww.
No, one time I blacked out and I started screaming and saying that everybody was trying to like sell me to sex trafficking. So
Bruh.
I just stopped drinking at that point.
Oh my God, I thought you said at his job. I was about to say, girl.
No, I was in downtown Riverside, and every time a guy came up to me,
DTF,
I was
bro.
like, I'm getting kidnapped right now. Like, I'm going to get raped and killed, and
oh my goodness.
I'm gone. And I think I called my boyfriend, and he picked me up. But he was paranoid because he actually thought, like, somebody was trying to...
Were you crossed
God.
by any chance? Were you also faded?
No, I was just trying.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, that would have
The
been a better
vibes.
excuse.
Yeah, because sometimes when I smoke, like, I get paranoid as fuck, dude. And that shit, it's like, bites me in the ass. And I'm always like, God, please, take this paranoia away. I'll never smoke again. I promise you, Lord. It sucks. Doesn't it
Oh
feel
my
shitty?
God,
Like,
yeah.
have you ever gotten paranoid when you're high, bro?
Dude, I feel like I get paranoid just on anything. Like, I'll be having a good time, then I'm like, oh my God. Literally, like, I could not be under the influence, and I'll just be like, out of nowhere.
Sober. Mm-hmm. That's funny.
That's why I don't like when guys come up to me, I'm like, oh my God, like, because have you guys ever seen, like, when you were younger, did you guys ever watch, like, stalker shows?
Oh, dude, my mom grew up watching, ID Discovery.
No.
Oh, yeah,
It's like
the
that.
channel.
It's on cable or something. It's like literally murder shows.
Yeah.
And it's engraved in my brain like, oh, Sally went for a walk one day. She was 12 and she got kidnapped and never returned home. I was like, mira, vistes? And I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, that's me. Okay, because the
So I'm like,
craziest one I
stop.
ever saw, it was called Strangers, I think, the show. Dude, it was this guy who, like, went to camp and he saw this girl. He never talked to her. They were never friends, nothing. But, like, they were at camp together and he saw her and he just, like, I guess, like, became obsessed with her.
Oh,
And, like, the only evidence that they have of ever, like, even interacting, which they weren't interacting, they were just in the same room, is, like, this video from camp where, like, she's over here and, like, he's over there. And, like, literally, like, they grew up and he, like, stayed obsessed with her for years and years. And, like, he made a whole website, like, saying, like, oh, I want to kill her. Like, this is how I'm going to kill her, blah, blah, blah. And he did.
No.
And literally, she was just walking to her car. And it was just this freaking random from, like, her childhood camp.
Wow.
Like, is that not the most insane thing ever? That shit's scary.
Dude, that is insane.
Correct.
The fact
People are
that-
crazy.
Yeah.
The fact that shit
general.
like that really does happen, like, no way.
Dude, that shit is so scary. That's why, like, people, like, I have a friend who would go on a lot of dating apps, and she would always go to, like, their house. And I'm like, are you insane? Like, what
Was
do
it
you...
the first date? Or first
Just,
time
like,
they
even,
meet?
like, I feel like maybe, like, the 5th date is cool to go to your... Like, you're
Yeah,
still, you
yeah,
know...
you're pushing
I don't
it,
think you
babes.
can tell on the first and second date if you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
that's
You know what I
hilarious.
mean? Like, that's pretty weird. And so I was always like, dude, like, you need to stop doing that. Like, this is literally how people get murdered.
Literally.
That shit is so scary.
I saw this video one time of this girl saying that she was on a dating app and that the guy was like, hey, like, do you want to go out to eat or whatever? And she was like, okay, like, fuck it, like, let's go out to eat. And she said that, I forgot what excuse he gave her. He was like, damn, you know what, like, my car, this and that, like, I'm sorry, but, like, is it possible for, like, for you to drive? And she said that was already, like, the first red flag. She was like, fuck it, you know, it's just, we're just gonna go out to eat. So she picked him up, and she said that he suggested Taco Bell, and that she was like, what the fuck? Okay, she was like,
Taco Bell?
uh-huh.
This sounds familiar. Wait, I'm sorry. Keep going.
Yeah. So I think it was Taco Bell, if I'm not mistaken. And that she was like, okay, you know, fuck it, let's go to Taco Bell. And they were in the drive-thru, and she said that when they asked like to pay, he was like, fuck, I don't have my wallet. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll pay you back like at the house. Like, can you just pay? And she was like, fine. And she was like, dude, he ordered like 2 like family packs of tacos, and I didn't understand why he needed that much food, but I was like, okay, like maybe he just really fucking likes tacos, whatever. And she was like, wait, it gets worse. And I was like, no way, like how does this get worse? And she said that after that, like she paid and they drove back to his house and they just went inside, and that he just like grabbed the boxes and dumped them on the table, and he was like, food's here, and like his
said,
family,
let's feast or
some shit, and like the family came to eat, and that she was just sitting there awkward, like I just bought his family and him food.
What?
And that they just started eating, and that she was like our first eating, but she was like, you know what, like no, fuck this. And she said she just scooped up all the tacos. She's like, I'm fucking leaving, bitch. She took her tacos, and I was like, okay.
What the fuck?
Okay. And I was like, dude, that's terrible. No fucking way.
I don't know why I was expecting like a super morbid ending to this story.
No, when I saw that video, I was like, no way, like that's hilarious.
That is so. I wouldn't have done that. I don't think I would have paid.
Me either.
Like I would have been like, you know what, let's just go.
Now I'd have been like, actually, I hate Taco Bell.
I don't even eat this shit.
Actually, yeah, no.
Dude, that's freaking terrible.
Mm-hmm. I'm scared of that. I downloaded Tinder one time, and like, I don't know, I was on it for like a day, and I was like, dude, I can't do this. Like, I don't know if it was just like fear of something bad happening, or just like a bad day, or I was like, no, I can't do it.
Did you find anybody cute though?
I mean, yeah, but then at the same time, I'm also scared of like, fuck, what if it's a catfish? You know, like, damn, I don't know.
I feel like though, like in this day and age, like, how do you get catfish? Like FaceTime,
right?
I know I've had people like send me screenshots of people using my pictures on Tinder, and I'm like, sorry to break it to you, bro, but like that's not me.
Yeah,
but
even then, that's what I mean. Like, why catfish when like obviously at some point you're gonna have to
exactly
like physically see each other. Like the show Catfish, like, bro, come on.
Right?
It's terrible.
some funny episodes on there.
But like on dating apps, do you feel like weird being on it? Like, did you feel weird just having it? Because I know a lot of people like feel uncomfortable when they're like, yeah, I'm on a dating app.
No, honestly, I think it was just my fear of getting catfished, or like talking to someone and like, I don't know, you just don't know them. It's like getting like feelings or something, and then like it's just not, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't ready to put myself out there too.
But really, do you guys feel like it's any different than just meeting on Instagram?
I feel like on Instagram it's a little bit different because you can kind of look at the followers and be like, well, from what I know, because if they have a little bit, I'm like, I'm not talking to you. And then also I look at their tag photos to see like if they have friends or like who is this person. So that's the big difference I think. The big difference between between Instagram and like dating apps, like meeting somebody like that.
Look at their friends. Look at their comments.
What do you guys? What do you do?
Check, look up their social security.
You're the FBI. You're the FBI at that point. You gotta do some digging in there.
Yeah,
you know, like who am I
of
fucking with right now?
So you don't date on dating apps?
I did it once, but I never, like you said, like I downloaded it, but I just never went on a date. I just wasn't comfortable enough, especially hearing like the stories nowadays of like how girls have like horror stories. I'm just like, I'm good. I'd rather meet somebody in person or
organically,
organically, or maybe on Instagram. I don't know, but yeah, I'm off that.
I wish they had like a friends.
They
Tinder.
do.
They do.
It's Bumble. I actually got it.
Bumble's for couples.
No. And it's also for friends. Like, they have like 2. Like when you download the app, it asks you, do you want to make friends, or are you looking for a partner? Yes, it is Bumble. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I downloaded it.
Is it Hinge? Because I know Hinge is.
No. It's Bumble. I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure it's Bumble, dude. Because it's like the little yellow app, right?
Yeah,
it's Bumble, dude. And literally, it's crazy. It feels a little odd swiping left or right on girls, you know? But it's cute because, like, they have their bio, like, what they're into, like, how far are they from you, what they're interested in, like, a friendship.
That's weird, though. Like, how do you pick? Like, I want to be this girl.
Honestly, no. I feel like it's just, like, your intuition, you know? Like, you look at their pics, you read their bio. You're like, you know, I feel like I'll vibe with this person.
Yeah.
And actually, dude, it's dope. Like, I actually started, like, super, like, cool conversations with a bunch of girls. But I don't know why I feel like at the same time, because I did want like new friends. So I was like, dude, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm gonna just try to use this app, make new friends. But at the same time, I realized it wasn't really that I wanted to make new friends. I was just like kind of going through it. So I was like, fuck, like let me like just try to meet new people.
Yeah.
Like, but I wanted girlfriends. So I was like, I never actually met up with anyone, but I did have conversations and like we did talk about meeting, and like the girls are super cool, you know, like they're actually down to meet, like they're down to hang out. Yeah, so it did seem like genuine. I would definitely recommend it if that's something like you guys wanted to do.
I had no idea. Honestly, I feel like I would be so nervous.
No, yeah, dude. I thought that too, but it's actually not that bad.
That's really good though, because I feel like nowadays, like, well, specifically for me at this age, I don't have time to make friends or like meet new girlfriends. So that's cool. No, I know I've had friendships come off of just solely Twitter. Yeah. I told you guys, like, I met some girl off of Twitter and like we've hit it off and like we met. And it's cool, but like that seems really interesting.
Dude, yeah, it's dope.
Check it out.
Dope.
Do you feel like making friends just like not even just your age, like just in this time is harder because of social media, or do you guys think like maybe if we were born earlier years, was it as hard, you think?
I feel like for me it's not harder. I feel like it's just the fact that we're older. People seem to already have their friend groups, you know?
Oh, that's
true. It took like years, bro.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of.
So that's why I'm like, you know, I don't think it's hard because I feel like I'm very out there. Like I'm very talkative, you know, I don't mind, you know, talking. So I think it's just like.
That's true. I never thought of that. Yeah. But I also feel like, I don't know how to approach. Like, I don't know how to approach someone and be like I'll see people on Instagram and I'm like, damn, I would love to be this person's friend. Yeah. But I don't know how to be like, hey, like, I want to be your friend. Like, that's weird, no?
Dude, no. Honestly, I've literally had girls, like, slide in my DMs and be like, hey, dude, like, been following you, super cool, like, content, or like, oh, like, you look super dope vibes, like, if you're ever down to like go out to eat or go to a club, like, you know, let me know. Or like I've had girls be like, hey girly, like, I'm going to the club. No, I'm always like, I'm going to the club.
Like, it's so weird.
You know what, dude? And I feel bad because it's not that I don't want to. Like, they seem like all the girls that have done that to me, like, I not once ever felt like it was weird. Like, I actually was like, oh, that's so dope, like, that they hit me up. I think it was just more of like I feel like at that time, at least, when girls would reach out to me, I didn't feel like the need for more friends. So it was nothing against them. Like, they're awesome girls. I just felt like at that time, I already had like my friend group, and I just wasn't really interested in pursuing more friendships, especially with just being a mom. I feel like I already have a little bit of time for the friends I already have. So it's like I just didn't feel like I could take on like more friendships.
Yeah.
But so yeah, if any of you guys are watching this, because I know there's some girls that I feel like this one specific girl actually did get butthurt with me, and I felt really, really bad, and I didn't want her to take it personal, but I also didn't feel close enough to be like, hey, like, it's not you, you know, like, you know, but and I feel like that's why I say like it's harder as you get older because people already have their friend groups
and their times. That's true. You're right.
Yeah. But don't be scared, dude. If you see someone they want to hit up, like you want to be friends with,
or like even compliment, like, oh, I like your outfit. Like,
I do that for sure. I love like honestly, like I just love replying to like pretty girls on Instagram, like because it feels nice. Like when people do it to me, I'm like, oh, so sweet.
And all the girls out there, Stephanie's fucking dope. Y'all better hit her up.
Yeah, hit me up. I need friends.
You'd be lucky to have a friend like her. She bought me coffee today.
Not to diss my friends that I have now. I love you guys, but it'd still be nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that. Like, are you close with your cousins? Because I know you're close with yours. That's awesome.
Yes, I have guy cousins, and like lately I feel like we've been like shooting the shit. Like for some reason I'll like go, like they're both in the living room just kicking it. It's Miguel and Jeffet, and like last night I went to go make some tea, and I just like, and they both of them just travel slowly to the kitchen, and I'm like, okay, we're shooting the shit. So like we all sit at the table and we're just like talking, and like it's cool. But I don't have like a big family. And so yeah, I think it's awesome.
I'm sorry, what is shooting the shit?
Shooting the shit? I've never heard of we're just like talking.
Oh.
I'm like, maybe I got that from my ex.
Dude, I've never heard anyone say that in my life. No.
Not me embarrassed.
No, but it sounds cool. I'm gonna start saying that.
I'm like, I'm shooting the shit.
I'm shooting the shit, bitch.
That just, if someone texted me that, I'd be like, you're taking a shit? I'm sorry.
That's what I thought too. Like, y'all gonna go to the bathroom together?
We're just kicking it. We're just chilling.
I figured in my head, I was like, that probably means talking shit.
Shooting the shit, like,
I figured
new term for you guys. Shooting the shit, like,
shit.
we're fucking dope. We're just having a good time.
And if y'all know where that's from, comment that, because I don't know.
Like,
where's
dude,
that from?
I got that from my ex. Like, I'm sorry.
I'm like, where's he from?
White. That makes sense. No.
He's from Hawaii?
No, he's white.
Oh, he's white?
Yeah.
Mistake number one.
Like my ears are getting all red, besties. I know. Anyways, but yeah, how about you guys? Are you close with your families?
I'm not super close with my cousins, except one. Shout out to Leslie. You guys met her at Punch Bowl the other night.
Oh yeah, she was so pretty,
Dude,
so nice,
so sweet. She's literally the sweetest girl. Super uplifting. Super just all about love and positivity. And actually, I want to say she actually was one of the people that had a huge impact on me when it came to spreading love and just being open to spreading that love to other women, because I feel like definitely I used to be scared to just be loving to people, like just express it. At least, you know, I would just kind of like, I would think, oh, that girl's pretty, or that girl's this, or whatever, like good things, but I would just keep it to myself. I would never actually say it. And when she moved out here to San Bernardino, because she used to live in Coachella, we would hang out so much, and I just noticed how she was just so openly like sharing her love with anyone that she just wanted to. And it just really, like, I was like, oh shit, like, you can do that, like, that's dope, you know, like. And she really inspired me to just be more vocal about, like, if I wanted to compliment a girl, or if I wanted to just give someone a just whatever, you know, just be nice. And so so shout out to you. I love her. But yeah, me and her are like, she's probably the closest cousin I have.
That's crazy. Why do you feel like you just didn't think about it, or you just weren't used to it?
I just wasn't used to it, probably. Yeah, and I also didn't really think about it much. It was just more like, oh, like, she's pretty, like, or whatever.
Like just a thought.
Then I, like, slipped my mind, you know? But there were times, too, that, and, you know, I'm not going to lie. I feel like growing up, I had a lot of masculine energy. And it happened one time where someone asked me, like, if I was gay. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you know, I have a lot of gay friends. Like, I love them. I have no hate for them.
They're the best.
But I feel like that also kind of, I guess, was scared to come off that way also. Like, you know, I didn't want to give girls the wrong impression. Like, in my mind, I also kind of assumed, too, like, that they'd probably think I would be hitting on them or something, too. So I feel like that also, too, you know. But obviously, I don't think that way anymore. But, yeah, I feel like that's probably one thing.
That's crazy, though, that because you were, like, emotionless, people just assume you were,
No,
like...
I feel like it's because I'm super, like, one of the guys, like, funny as fuck, like, joking around, like, you know, I don't know. Just I guess I just gave off that energy, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I've always been very, like... I like to say what I feel. Like, if I'm like, oh, she's pretty, I'll be like, hey, like, you're pretty.
That's dope.
I'm the same way,
That's
too.
dope.
But sometimes it's backfired on me.
I'm that way now.
Really?
Yeah.
I just like it, because most people, like... appreciate appreciate, you know,
the comment probably uplifted them.
I thankfully up to today, now that I've been that way, I haven't had a bad experience. Like, people receive it, like, with love as well. So I'm like, okay, that's dope, you know.
Aww.
What was your bad experience? What happened?
So, like, one time, this wasn't that long ago, I went to Target and I was like, oh my god, this girl, it was like during, like, you know, fall vibes, and like her outfit gave off like fall vibes, and I was like, oh my god, it's so cute. So I remember, like, I was like, I'm gonna tell her, like, in my head, I was like, no, I'm not. And I was like, no, I'm gonna tell her, because maybe like, fuck it. So I remember she was paying and I was behind her, and then it was my turn to pay, and she was just like finishing up, and I was like, oh, I like your outfit. She just looked at me and I was like, okay.
You've been like, April Fool's, bitch.
I felt discouraged, but honestly, that experience is not going to stop me from hyping up my girlies and my besties.
Don't let it.
But yeah, that was probably about. But I've also heard from, like, my other friend. She's like, yeah, I used to I complimented other girls, and they just give me dirty looks, like, thanks, like, almost like backhanded for giving a compliment.
Yeah,
like,
that's weird.
That sucks. Really
backhanded. Yeah.
Because what goes through their mind that they're like, how dare this bitch?
Or like
tell
asking,
me I look
like,
good right now.
How dare she try to make me have a good day?
Or like asking where a piece of clothing you got from, like,
I hate that, because I'm like, bitch,
no,
like, come on.
Disrespectfully, like, why are we gatekeeping clothes? You
like,
know?
bitch, I know you got it on Shein. Don't play me.
Shein. I know that shit was $3. Where'd you get it? I want it.
Where'd you get it? I know you got it at the thrift store, babe.
I always got my clothes thrifted, so, like, every time, like, on my TikToks, when people ask, I'm like, dude, I got it thrifted, but on the tag it says blah blah blah.
Yeah, dope.
So I feel like that helps. I don't know. I don't try to gatekeep. Like, I want all my besties to look cute too, so I always tell them, like. But some girls, like, gatekeep.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's just the way, like, society likes to pit women against each other, you know? It's like,
probably
I want to be better, or, like, I have to look my best. And it's like, they feel like if they share where they got their shit from, like, you know,
Makes
that
them
they'll like one up them or something. You know,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's kind of like why those girls gatekeep. You know, it's kind of sad. Like,
I hate when people keep makeup too, cause I'm like, bitch, like it's gonna look different on you than it's gonna look on me.
yeah.
Like, just tell me where
Oh my
the
god,
fuck you
that's
got
so
it.
true.
Yeah, like that makes no sense.
Literally. Like they think like if you buy it, it's gonna sell out. Like,
Or
I'm just
something
one
like
person.
that. Yeah, I hate that. I'm like, dude, just tell me. I'm gonna
tell
find it
me.
anyways. Might as well fucking tell me. Make it easier.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Gatekeep?
Yeah, because that's weird.
Yeah, I've never done that either.
Or you know what's weird too? Like when people are like, "Oh, I hate when my favorite underground artists like isn't underground." Like, bitch, do you not want them to be successful?
Exactly.
That's weird to me.
Or like when you like an artist and they're like, name 3 songs right now.
Oh,
Like,
you
bitch,
know them?
oh
Especially
my
on
God.
TikTok right now, like if there's a song trending and like I know there's been a few songs that have trended and they're like, oh, you just got that off of TikTok. I'm like, no,
Dude.
bitch, I've been on this song for a hot minute. I
And
don't know
even
about
if
y'all.
you did, so what? Sorry, I'm up to date on the trends, baby.
Exactly. Don't be a hating hoe.
Fucking hater asses. I know. Honestly, I feel like TikTok's crazy because
It really is.
like they're bringing so many old songs that I'm like I haven't heard this shit in 10 years. Where the hell did this come from? And why did you even think of that specific song?
Like
Yeah.
the Akon, hey ladies, drop. Have you guys seen that? on
Dude,
your
yeah.
page?
I literally have that
Haven't
shit in
seen
my
it?
liked music.
The Weeknd. I know the older The Weeknd and all that stuff is coming back. I like it. I like older songs. Like
Oh,
old
definitely, me
R&B.
too.
Yeah. But only because I'm really lazy to listen to new music.
And new music is weird. Some new music is like I can't listen to the radio because the fucking songs they play are like the same songs every
Oh,
3
yeah.
hours
Yeah.
or like the
Yeah.
same type of like beat, and I'm like,
Or like you're listening to it on one and you're like, okay, I like this song, and then you switch to the next station and it's literally starting
The
to play
same
the same
thing.
one.
You know what's funny like how that happens with every generation. Like our parents are like, I can't stand the music you guys play. You know, like
Yeah.
I love this, and then now it's happening to us. Like we can't
Yes.
stand with the new
Yeah, me
generation.
and my little
listening
brother
to.
will be like, what the hell? Like, that's not even music. Let me play you this shit
Yeah.
right now. And he'll be like, what the fuck is that?
That's fucking funny.
But honestly, I like mainstream music. I don't care. People are weird
Yeah,
about
me
it,
too.
but I think it's catchy. It's bop.
Yeah.
it's boppy.
Oh my god, it would not be on the radio if somebody didn't like it.
I
That's
agree.
me.
I agree. Well, let's switch it to a different
my God,
topic.
I keep hitting the mic. I don't know. I feel like I'm very like family oriented, so I'm always like always being thankful to my family. Like I love hugging. Like I'll hug literally every single one of my family members. I love my family so much. I don't think I've ever like not wait no. I don't think I've ever taken them for granted. Cuz like my dad's sick. So I feel like this like past my dad's sick. I'm really close to one of my uncles and he's sick as well. And so ever since he got sick 2 years ago, my dad got sick last year. I literally like any moment I can be with my family, I will always be with my family.
Of course.
Cuz time is so short.
Time is short.
Life is short.
Well, I specifically brought up this topic because I remember growing up, I lived in Mexico when I was like a freshman in high school, and times were really rough for everybody in the house. Everybody in the house. So basically, my mom, my brothers, and my sister, we all moved to Mexico, and my dad stayed back here. So we had a gap of like for a year where everything was so crazy, and I still went to school here. So we would cross the border every day at like 3 a.m. to go to school. But we lived in Mexico, and we lived in Tijuana. And that event in my life, like at first I was so angry because I was like, why are we living here and blah, blah, blah. But like times are rough. You know, my dad wasn't with us. So that was like a really hard time for like not only my mom, but all of us. But my mom really took that role of like mom and dad during that time because she really like busted her ass to like make sure like we still went to school over there and all of that. So after that, I feel like it really humbled me and made me like see like my mom is like a good person. So is my dad. Like they're great people. And after that, I feel like I really did appreciate life and even living over here because over there you can really see how like poverty is and all that. Like it was sad. It was a rough time, but after that I really was really appreciative of not only like my parents but of like life in general. Like oh shit, it was rough. It was rough. But
shout out to all the hardworking
yes, and
parents
if
out
I know
there.
a lot of people like you would be surprised at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. like how many people are crossing the border just to take their kids to school or just to go to work or just to I don't know do whatever. So it's crazy. So if you're doing that,
shout out
you'll
to
get
all
out
the
of it. Or
parents,
shout out to the
literally.
parents, bro, for real.
Hardworking.
Literally.
Yeah, dude.
So after that, yeah.
For me, it definitely was giving birth. Dude, literally, that whole experience, it really does change you for real. And I feel like for me, the one thing that really, really, really stood out to me was just the fact that parenting is so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, my mom would always say, when you have your own kids, you'll understand. I'd be like, oh, I'm full of shit, you know, like whatever, you know, I'm not going to be like you, or it's not going to be that hard, or blah, 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 you know. And my son's 2 now, and, you know, girls, while I do have all the love in the world for my son, I have a newfound appreciation for every single mother on this planet, because not just is giving birth hard, just raising a tiny human is extremely hard.
Yeah.
It does have its rewards. It is something beautiful, but it is also really hard, and I feel like it's time that more people spoke about it. Just the mental toll, the physical toll, the emotional toll, like just the way that one's life changes drastically, and just how mothers just don't get enough credit and help even. And I hate that people frown upon like women getting help for like getting their children, like just help taking care for children in general. I feel like people always talk down on like, oh, like you have a babysitter or things like that. I just hear like all these comments, and it's like, dude, like once you're actually a parent, you realize like how much like your own mental well-being is so much more important. Like I read this thing one time that said like your child doesn't need a perfect mom, they need a happy mom. And that is so true, because there's already been times where I feel like I'm losing my shit, you know. Sometimes I'm going through it in my personal life, but I have to put that on hold because I have a tiny human that needs my care 24/7. And it's so draining. It's really hard in those moments. And I just want to say out there to all the women that have children, you guys are doing a good fucking job. Even if there's days where you feel like you're not doing your best, it's okay. You really are doing your best always. And your child is going to love you for it always. And if you need support, don't be afraid to reach out, because it is hard. And be compassionate with yourself. Give yourself that love and that alone time if you need it. Don't feel bad. Take that alone time, because your child is going to be happier for it. If you're happy, your child will be happy. But
how do you feel like you or like is there something that you do that is like your break to like clear your mind and be like, okay, I need to calm down right now?
Honestly, when Ezra goes to sleep, that's like my me time. I feel like I've been going to sleep like more late, because once he goes to sleep like around 9, it's like, okay, he's down, and I get like an hour or 2 of like just me time. And I really, really indulge, like just do some self-care, like whatever makes me feel good in the moment. Also, like even, I don't wake up earlier all the time, but I try to wake up earlier. Get some me time. Honestly, I don't know if I said it already, I used to hate like having alone time. I was always trying to hang out with people. But ever since I had my son, like I realized like how truly important it is to have alone time, just to recharge, to take care of yourself. And also like when he naps, like I love when he goes down for naps. I'm like, yes, like I could, you know, watch that show, or, you know, take a shower, like eat without, you know, being disturbed. Like all the little things that you take for granted every single day, like that you can just do without even thinking, like all of a sudden like you can't even do all of that, you know. So it could be really, really hard. And I just really wish people would talk about it more, because I feel like a lot of people have this idea going into parenting of like this fantasy that it's portrayed in like the movies and all these things, and it's really not like that. And another thing is like, if you have like inner child like trauma, or like things that you haven't healed or you haven't worked on, that shit gets brought up like immediately. Like caring for your kid is like a mirror to like what you didn't get as a kid. And it's hurtful. Like it's a lot of ups and downs, honestly. That's why I definitely think being a mother has definitely humbled me, given me so much appreciation for not just my mom, but every single mother. And yeah.
That's awesome though, like that you came, you know, that you have that much love for another person. Because I mean, my niece was just born, well, not just born, she's gonna be a year, but like when my niece was born, in my head I was like, I'm never having a child, because I love her more than anything in the world. Like I have so much love for her, and she's not even my daughter. And I'm like, That is so scary. Like, so scary to think of loving someone else even more than that. Because, you know what I mean? Like, I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, like, I would die for this baby.
Yes.
So, I feel like even, like, it scares me. Honestly, I personally just don't want kids for, like, another 10 years because I get really anxious thinking that I'm gonna love someone more than I love myself. I know that's like kind of selfish, but it's just that feeling like really, really, really gets me paranoid. And I feel like I'm gonna like it's only gonna enhance if I get pregnant. That I'm gonna be just like, oh my God, like this little person is gonna be in my care. What if I fuck up? You know, like honestly, I like really I admire, especially because I never really saw. I mean, you don't think about it when you're a child. You know, you don't think about like how your parents are going, because you know we're going through things right now, and at least when my mom was my age, she already had 2 kids. So I'm like, dude, like I can't even imagine going through like the stuff I'm going through and then having 2 kids on top of that. Like that's really like honestly I really admire women for that, because that's hard.
Definitely it is. And I feel like also back then it was just more natural for women to just stay home and like bear children. I feel like more you see it more now that women just want to be independent and, you know, children are no longer at the top of the list. And you know what? If I'm being completely honest, I'm glad that it's that way. I'm not saying don't have children. Like, I would never take my son back. Like, now that I know him and I love him, like, I would never change it for the world.
Yeah, now that I think he's cool.
Yeah, now that he's, like, dope as fuck, thanks to me and his dad. If I could give any advice to any young person, at least I feel like just, like, young women, truly, truly, truly enjoy now that you don't have children. Enjoy going out, go wild, travel. I think it's true that they say like 30s are the new 20s. Like, girl, go to freaking 35 if you have to without children. Like, it can definitely wait, because it's hard. It's rewarding, but it's really, really hard.
I feel like 35 is the perfect age.
Honestly, yeah. I think it's perfect.
The dirty 30s.
The what?
The dirty 30s. That's what I say.
Like, I saw this interview I think Kim Kardashian did, and she said that when she was like in her 20s, she was seeing all her sister have children, and she was like, oh man, like she wanted children badly just because everyone around her was having kids, and it's something that she did want, you know, but obviously she didn't have a partner and things like that, so it just wasn't her time, and it would really upset her a lot. And you know, I guess so many women just have this idea of like, oh, they want to be settled down by like 25 and like that, you know. I feel like a lot of women had that idea. But she said she didn't have North until she was like 30 something. And she said she was so freaking happy that it happened that way, because the version of herself that she was when she was like 20 something, like, you know, it would have not been the best version for North, you know?
Yeah.
And also she got to enjoy and do a billion other things that she's glad she was able to do. And also just knowing now that how hard it was, she was just glad that, you know, she was able to have like more life experiences and things like that before taking on like that new like life path of having a child. Because it is
you know what's so like cool about the times now too, like especially like the way you're talking about it, that it's not going to be the same, I guess, even though you're a young mom, because you're so aware that all these things are important, like outside of being a mom. Like I feel like you're gonna have a much better experience than say like young moms in like the 2000s or whatever, because you're aware that you know what, like this is my person, but I'm my own person too.
Exactly. And that's actually one thing too that I've been trying to do. I feel like a lot of people like to talk crap on women that like have children and still are their own person. And I'm like, dude, screw that. Like, I'm a good fucking mom. I take care of my baby. Yeah. If he has a dad too, you know, like when he's not with me, he's with his dad. So when I'm with myself, like I'm going to be my own person. I'm not going to let motherhood like take over, because motherhood is not my life. It's a little part of my life. Yeah. A big part, but it's not everything, you know? And I feel like that needs to be normalized. Like, when I was on the podcast on I and Friends, and I made a comment that I don't give a fuck, like sometimes I'll give my son like candy, or like I'll let him watch TV. Like, so many people were dragging me saying that I was like a horrible mother, that I didn't like want to spend time with him. And I was like, honestly, it didn't faze me because they don't know me, you know? So thank God I'm where I am now, because that would have for sure triggered me back then. But it's just funny because, like, I get it. Those people don't have children, you know? And I know that because I was there when I didn't have children. It was easy for me to judge and be like, oh, you know, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do this. But once you actually enter parenthood and you realize how hard and draining it could be at times, and how just so badly you need those breaks, you realize it's okay. You know, if you're having a shit day and you went through something like that's just draining you, and your child just terribly wants your attention, but you just can't do it, it's okay to let them watch a show, or let them have your phone for a little bit, or give them a bag of chips so they could just get those 20 minutes for you to like just be able to sit and breathe, you know? And that's okay, you know? And it's just like, I just hope that people can understand that. Please don't judge parents, because they're already having it. You know, I'm not saying that's all bad. I'm not trying to bash like parenthood either. Like I love being.
Y'all don't have kids, please.
Literally, no, I love being a parent, but I think it's important to talk about.
Yeah.
I feel like not a lot of people talk about the not so good side, the ugly side, and I'm gonna shed light on it, babes, because we already talk about the good. Like I feel like it needs to be, the other side of the coin needs to be talked about as well, just so that people can make the best choice for themselves. You know.
Going back to your story, when you guys moved to TJ, how old was your mom?
My parents are fairly young. I know they just turned 40.
Wow.
Love you, mom. Love you, dad.
That's super
They're
young.
No, they got married when they were like, I think I talked about this last time, like when they were in middle school.
Yeah.
They got married. They like tied down. So my mom was probably like in her 30s, 32, 34.
Wow, that's
fairly
really young.
Young. So she's a badass for that.
Yeah.
So was my dad, because like that it was hard. That
She's hot.
etapa.
You
Yeah, she's
posted
hot.
her.
I know my mother's
like,
so
okay,
pretty.
okay,
I'm
Miss
like,
Thing.
I love you, mom. She doesn't take more credit on herself. I'm like, Mom, you're so pretty. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
no. And I'm like, no, Mom, you're pretty. You're thriving. You're young. My dad is
Yes.
also very handsome.
Wait,
I
so
love
you're
my
the
dad.
oldest?
No, the oldest. She is 24.
24.
24,
Oh, okay,
22.
yeah.
And then we have the 16 and the 10.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
And all four of you guys?
Yeah. 2 boys, 2
Damn.
girls. So you can imagine the house. Well, during the time when we all lived together.
Yeah.
But very hectic. But honestly, it was nice.
Yeah,
It was nice
to be
because
together.
yeah, to be together. But during that time, it was very, very rough. And Mom was very young. You know, still is young.
I can't imagine, dude. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just built different. And then, like, I
Our
feel like
moms are stronger. I definitely feel that.
They're
100%.
way stronger back then. I definitely feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm just a wimp, probably. But
No, stop.
I cannot imagine having 4 kids like so young. Cause like my mom, very similar to you. My mom's like what, 40? She's gonna turn 44.
Wow,
I have and my
moms are so young. Well, my mom too. She's only 45. But
girl, and my older sister's 26. I'm 24, and then the youngest two, one's gonna turn 18 and the other one's gonna turn 17. And it's like my mom had the first one like 15, then me like at 16 or 17. And it's like, dude, I had Ezra when I was like 21, and no, I was 22 already. But it was just really hard. Like obviously drastic lifestyle change. But my mom, like, dude, I'm like, dude, 2 kids and you're not even 20 yet.
Badass.
It's like, how do you guys do it? Like, y'all are super women. That's what I'm saying. Like, after giving birth, like, hat down to every single mother out there. Like, they're doing the damn thing.
to my mama. To my own mother.
And
that.
and you know, I know sometimes it's easy, you know, to get angry at parents, and you know, your feelings are 100% valid. But I also really, really want to say, find it in your heart to have a little compassion.
Yeah, and hug your moms.
Kindness. Yeah, hug your moms.
I know.
Yes,
I
hug
know
your
so
moms,
many
kiss them.
people that like. I'm like, oh, when's the last? That's like literally every time I meet someone, I'm like, do you hug your mom?
Yeah.
'Cause so many.
That's
people,
the first thing you ask.
Yeah, so many people
Yeah.
don't, and I'm always like, dude, go hug your mom.
Yep.
Like,
She probably needs it. You don't
yeah,
know.
and I think I told you too the other day. You were feeling bad. I'm like, go hug your son. Like,
did,
that's
you did.
literally all I think of. Because honestly,
Yeah.
hugs are scientifically proven to make you
Definitely.
feel better, and they have to be 20 seconds long.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you
Go
know
hug your
what?
mom.
Also,
or your dad.
hug your mom or
Hug
your
your mom.
everyone.
Everybody.
I don't know
Everyone
if it's
I love.
just me, but I feel like the journey that I'm on now, learning a lot about, because I feel like the journey I'm on right now is definitely about like healing my inner child and a lot of things like that, because I definitely want to be the best version of myself for my son. And with that being said of hug your moms, I also want to extend like some love and compassion to those people who have like estranged relationship with their parents, you know, that don't feel like they could hug their parents because of, you know, traumas, or
Yeah.
they just don't get along, or for whatever reason. Hug yourself, you know, or if you can't physically hug them for whatever reason, maybe you're just not there yet, or you went through a lot, and the best you can do is just send them like a virtual hug, or like, you know, some good vibes. That's enough too. And I don't know what to say. It's hard, dude. Like
it is hard. It's hard to that's
especially
another
when
thing
you
that,
want to and like you just can't.
yeah, I don't think I ever realized too how hard it is to like when something I never realized that touching was such a weird, like even my boyfriend, he like I know for a while he didn't like to be like touched or whatever.
A lot of people are not used to it.
Yeah, and that's weird to me. Like I don't know, how do you guys feel about that? Like do you mind when people like hug you?
No,
or?
I like it. As soon as I meet somebody, I like to hug them. They're like, and I'm like, nah, bro, I'm a
Get
hugger.
in here.
I'm like,
Definitely.
I don't think it's weird.
I'm good with hugging. Thank God, because of my mom. My mom's super affectionate, so I'm really grateful that she was that way with me. But my dad was always super dry. Like, the only time my dad would ever hug me was like when he was like drunk off his ass or something like that. And it,
Do you feel like that? Like I know you were in a toxic relationship. Do you guys feel like those things affect like your new relationships? Like how your dad didn't hug you, or like I don't know, like what kind of physical affection you had in that relationship. But do you feel like coming out of that, was it hard to like change those habits?
Well, when I was in my toxic relationship on his end, I know his mother was out of his life. His dad was like his only like support system or whatever, so it was really hard for him to like receive affection. And I also want to say like maybe that's why he also like cheated. I honestly don't know why men cheat, but like I feel like that has a big role. Like they just run for affection. And maybe I wasn't doing the most, or maybe I was doing too much, where like his only escape was drinking. And so in that aspect
that was not your fault, babe.
No, he was
absolutely nothing to do with you. I can tell you that right now.
No, I felt bad, but it's honestly out of my control. But I also looked at the bigger picture, and I always try to understand like maybe he's like this because of how he was brought up. Which
definitely.
No mom, no affection. And I felt bad, and I try to give that to him, and maybe it wasn't enough, but I do believe like that has a lot to do.
For me, definitely, I think so. Just because I was in a relationship once where the guy I was with was not affectionate at all. And obviously, like, my dad was not affectionate with me. That's the way the first man that, they say the first man supposed to love you in your life is your dad. They're the one that sets the example. And that was the example that I have, no affection. So I was like my mom, super affectionate, and he was just super dry. And that was an issue. Thank God he loved me enough to work on that, and he became super affectionate with me, and I love that so much because he went to therapy, dude. He literally went to therapy.
I had to beg my ex to go to therapy, bro. He never went. He's like, I'll go to therapy. Babes. He never went. But that's good. That's really good that he took that initiative.
Dude, he went to therapy. He did like a complete 180, dude. But it was definitely like I had to work on things within myself as well, But I definitely do think that it plays like a huge role. Because I also have friends as well who, like, physical touch is so uncomfortable for them. They just never received it growing up, so they get super awkward, or they just don't know how to like give it back. And so all my love and compassion to you guys. You guys are still worthy of love. You're still worthy of all of that if it's what you want. So yeah, I definitely think.
I think it's hard to move on, like, once, because you get so used to, especially in relationships, like when you get so used to not doing something, like coming out of that and trying, you're meeting a new when you start dating a new person and you're meeting someone new, and to like completely change the habits you had into like trying to,
when it's a toxic
like when you're in a toxic relationship and you're trying to go into a better one, like it's so hard to not have those same kind of habits. Like I know for a while when I first started dating my boyfriend, I would yell at him a lot, and he's very like very 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 calm. So like I would yell and he would talk lower, so I would lower my voice.
Would you get more mad?
I wouldn't get more mad, but because I just naturally talk loud, and sometimes like when I yell, it's just my way. It's not anymore, but it was actually, no, it still is. It was just my way of expressing myself. And I, like, once he told me, like, when you would yell, I would talk lower, so you would just have to talk lower. And I never really realized, like, I didn't even know that was
his way of getting you to.
They're just my way of, like, expressing myself when now I'm like, okay, let me calm down. Not scream.
Did your mom yell a lot?
My mom yells a lot. Even still, it was just... Even, like, when I fight with, like, my brother or whatever, like, it's always, like, who's ever trying to yell loudest.
Yeah. Definitely.
I try to avoid conflict.
Really? Even with your family?
No, for real.
When I'm, like, arguing in, like, a family area, I'm very, like, I'm gonna come, like, I'm gonna fight until literally the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I need to have the last say.
No, definitely. And I feel like that that's a good like indicator of where you could probably, if you don't know what you need to work on when you're entering, like, you just said leaving a toxic relationship, going into a new one. I feel like if you don't know maybe what to work on, just look at your family dynamic with your parents. That will tell you everything you need to know. Because I know it did for me. Like, for example, my mom, I love her, but she was very explosive when she would get angry. But she would also like emotion dump a lot, you know? And that's I feel like, I wouldn't say like it's a toxic trait, but it's not something good, you know? I feel like now I'm realizing it. I would do that a lot. Like, I was very emotionally aggressive and like emotion dump, and it could be very draining, you know, especially if someone can't hold space for you. So that's one thing that obviously I had to work on, because it's not other people's responsibility to like fix me or like fix my problems, you know. And I would always expect that out of my partners, like, I'm telling you this, so you better fix it, like help me fix it or help me feel better, you know. Like, that's what you're here for, and that's not what your partners are there for, you know. I feel like what stood out to me one time, you know, your partner is not supposed to make you happy. Like, you're supposed to be happy, and then your partner being happy, like you guys are happy together, you know. It's not like, oh, I feel shitty, like make me happy, you know.
That's a really hard
task
though.
It is. Oh, definitely, especially because I feel like this generation is barely breaking generational traumas. Like, I feel like it's barely becoming a thing to actually work on yourself and not just accept toxic behaviors. Yeah. So I feel like since we're that generation that's barely starting it, it's hard, you know, and it's a lot to work through. But I feel like it's important, you know, because obviously nobody wants to be in a toxic relationship. Definitely, obviously. I do. Why? No, but I feel like, you know what? I feel like it's really important to have a partner that is compassionate and like holds space for you. And obviously, yelling is probably not the best form of communication. But the fact that he's able to maintain his composure and, you know, get you to level yourself, I feel like that says a lot, you know, because he could be like, bitch, well, you want to yell, I'm gonna yell too. You know? So it's important to be with someone that's willing to.
I think, are you guys like the calm ones in the relationship, or are you guys the more like,
I'm the calm one.
Really?
Well, actually, no, I have never been with.
You're like, not me.
No. In my last relationship, I was very aggressive, but only because I would just ride off of like how he reacted. So I was like, oh, you want to get aggressive?
Oh, so you guys were both like...
No, it was so bad, dude. Like, I can't even like explain. And also because we met at work and like we knew coworkers, we knew other managers, we knew like it was all like work related in a sense. So he would tell a lot of people like about our relationship and what went down. And I'm like, bro, no one knows what happens behind closed doors. It's only A and B in a relationship. And he would just run his mouth, and there was only so much I could say because he was older. And I think we got together, I was 19 and he was like 24.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, oh, well, he's older, like she's a little girl, blah blah blah, like why don't you leave her? But I don't know why we stayed together for like 2 years.
It's because I feel like relationships work really well when there's like one calm one and then one person that's like kind of like the more
like a balance.
Yeah, like I definitely feel like opposites, at least in my experience, like opposites are like the best couples, because like me personally, I'm very like, I get mad really easily and I get annoyed and I get loud and whatever, and like it helps me so much to have someone to be like, okay, calm down. Yeah.
I never had that. Maybe that's why I've been taking like such a long time to like get into a new relationship, and I have gotten into situationships, but bro, they're all fucking toxic. Like every guy that I've tried to talk to,
a calm man.
Yes, I really do, because every guy I've talked to or every single like situationship I've had, they've all been like hella toxic. They've been disgusting. Like they cuss at me. They cuss at me like, you fucking bitch, shut the fuck up. And at this point now, one of them still reaches out to me. You know who you are.
Bitch.
Yeah, you fucking whore. He reaches out and I'm like, dude, honestly, I don't have time for, oh, I miss you, I regret. I'm like, dude, you don't miss shit. You treated me like shit. Right after our little breakup or, you know, whatever, you went into another relationship. So don't be coming back at me when you see me out here, you know.
Dude, hell no. Even to the boyfriends that would cheat on me, I would always be like, dude, like, please just don't ever curse at me. Like, I just feel like that for me is always like a huge line. Like, if you ever curse at me, like, I will never talk to you again.
I will kill you.
Like,
I will find
I will murder you.
my face.
Liam Neeson and Taken, I will find you.
Like,
I
someone
will
spit in my
kill you.
face and not even, like, disrespectfully, not even sexually, like, literally, like, spit in my face. Like,
Not even
I didn't even
not
ask
even
for it.
sexually, like, he spit in my face and he's like, you fucking bitch. Spit.
What did you do?
Loogie and all. I remember it was like the toxic relationship. We had gotten in a really, really bad argument, and he was really drunk. And I was like, dude, it's time to fucking put down the beer. Like, that was our number one argument every time, was him drinking, and it always gave me anxiety because I already knew it was coming. It was an abusive, bad relationship. So I already felt it coming, and I was like, dude, please put down the beer. Like, let's chill. Like, here's water. No, I want to keep fucking drinking, blah, blah, blah. And I remember it got physical. I honestly know, like, both of us were, like, going at it. We were pushing each other, whatnot. And honestly, it started because I probably grabbed the beer out of his hand. He's like, no, you fucking bitch. Just, like, push me. Fell to the floor, and I got up, and I was like, don't fucking push me. And I remember I, like, grabbed the beer, and I, like, threw it out of his hands. And I think the beer, like, hit his lip, and it, like, cut his lip. And from there, he fucking got enraged. Obviously, he's intoxicated.
Yeah.
Just gets up, and he's like, you fucking bitch, spits right in my face. Right in my face.
Oh my god.
That's probably the most degraded I felt as a woman. Even talking about it, I want to cry.
Dude, that's
But-
so
So sorry
horrible. What,
that
did you just, like,
experienced
leave?
Our arguments would be so bad. I'm, like, surprised that the cops never... Like, we lived together. We lived like in an apartment complex, and I'm surprised the cops never, like, nobody ever, like, called the cops on us or anything, because the arguments would be really nasty. But
Oh my god.
that's how toxic it got, besties. And it took
honestly-
me a long time to get out of it, and I was really scared because he would always say, no, I'll do better, like, I'll go to therapy. Like, he
Yeah.
would be on his hands and his knees, like, begging me, like, not to leave him. And obviously, me being in the mindset I was, I believed it, and I stayed, and I forgave him, and
Ugh,
I tried.
men.
It was nasty, but now we're just
Now I
chilling.
wish
But
a
that's
bitch
why-
would spit.
No, dude, I literally was like, oh my god, you mother. It was bad. But now, like, when you, in our last episode, or our first episode, we
Yeah.
talked about love languages. I really don't know what the fuck that is, and it makes me sad.
Yeah, but you're gonna figure it out. Now that
Hopefully
you're
one
aware of
day.
them, you'll figure it
Like,
out.
hopefully one day. But
Oh
yeah,
hell no.
that's how
Nasty.
toxic it got.
Well, what's
So-
his name? I just want to talk.
I'm like, I'll tell you guys after.
Drop
But
the
if
ID.
you're in a toxic relationship, besties, like, please leave. And know when, you just know when, like, it's your time to, like, leave, because it's just nasty and it I knew it was our time when, once again, we got in a nasty argument. We were up in, like, and his parents were racist towards me. Let's, like, not even get into
was
that.
he the white one?
Yes. Like,
Ugh.
his parents would talk about my skin color, how I'm Mexican, and, like, obviously, like, he was, like, redneck. So the whole relationship was nasty. But you just know when it's time to leave. So when you know,
Yeah.
just leave.
Oh,
It's gonna
hell
hurt
no.
because you're attached to that person and you have memories, but do it for you, because at the end of the day, you matter. Your
Don't
feelings
let anybody
matter.
spit in your face unless you ask.
Don't ever. That was the
Unless
most
you
degraded I
ask for
felt.
it, besties.
The most degraded.
That's
don't do
so
that.
horrible. Guys are the fucking worst. I swear.
really are.
They really swear like they're better than like I hate when men are like, oh, women are so dramatic. Like, have you met a man? Like, what are you talking about? You guys are literally can't even get a fucking cold without dying.
No, for real.
That's hilarious.
Ugh.
Because it's so true. Like, sick men literally act like they're on their deathbed.
Dude.
For real. No, for real. And then when you're sick, I'm like, where's that same energy at, babe? Like, you're not taking care of me. Hello?
Literally the
hilarious.
worst. I think the other day, whatever, I'm just gonna talk about it. But the other
Okay.
day I was on my period and I had really bad back pain because I like all those symptoms that that the people swear that women get on their period, and they're like, oh, they cry and they just like have random mood swings and everything hurts. But that's me. Like, I get
Yeah.
all the fucking symptoms. And my back really hurt, and I was like, oh, babe, my back really hurts. And he's like, yeah, mine too. And I was like, yeah, like, you think it hurts? Like, mine hurts? I don't think
No,
so.
babe. I'm going through
I'm
it.
Yeah.
fucking weak.
Literally, I
I'd be like,
wish.
oh, is your dick bleeding too?
Yeah, I think I said that. I was like, are your insides just bleeding out right now? But have you seen those videos where they get like guys to try those?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the
I have.
period
That's right.
I
Or
feel
even
like-
like the giving birth one, like,
Oh, I haven't seen those.
No, like the contraction
I feel like
videos.
it
Yeah,
should-
yeah.
It should be a requirement for all men to have that machine on them at least once before they start having sex.
True.
It should be like a mandatory thing.
That is so true.
It literally should be.
Or
like if you get a girl pregnant, like you have to be in a bed next to her with that machine on the entire time that she's pushing.
For real.
Like it only seems fair.
Sharing the pain.
Like, if you guys want to go halves on rent, if you guys want to go halves on dates, then you guys are gonna go half on the pain.
Halfsies, babe.
Because we don't do halves over here. How do you guys feel about paying like half and like going halfsies?
Oh my God, I just had this discussion. Because I told my boyfriend, I was like, I don't want to work. And he was like, okay, well, you don't have to work, but you have to have a baby.
Oh,
I was like, why? Like, why can't I just stay at home and not do shit? And he's like, so you're just going to stay at home, not work, and I have to pay everything? And I was like, yeah, please.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, you know what? You're right. Like, I don't mind paying half only if he's going to do half the housework. Mm-hmm. Because, like, why do I have to work, pay bills, and still have to come home and cook and clean? Mm-hmm. Like, that's a no.
That makes no sense.
Like, either you pay more and I'll do the chores. Like, I don't mind cooking and cleaning.
Yeah.
But why should I have to pay more when I'm, like, picking up after everybody? Yeah. That's my thing. Like, I'm not going to go 50-50 if the work's not 50-50.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, obviously, you know, we're both working. We're both making money. But I still have to come home from work and, like, you get to chill. Like, I have to come and cook and clean and you get to come home and chill.
But once you have a baby, though, definitely don't pay anything. Dead ass, because look, it's just at the end of the day, I feel like most of parenting responsibilities do fall on the women.
Yeah.
And not to take away from my baby's dad, he's amazing. He's a great dad. He's literally heaven sent. Like, I don't have words to express like how grateful I am for him, because I hear so many horror stories of just deadbeats, and I'm just so happy that that's not my situation. But still, you know, women, you know, they birth the child, they feed the child, like they're on the titty, like, you know, like
them.
Literally, like, it's like all you, babe. And then literally still, like, after that, like, it's just, not saying that my son's not attached to his dad, but I just feel like it's always gonna lean more towards the mother, you know. And bitch, that's not 50-50. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like bathing, changing the diapers.
He does that too, but still, like, I just feel like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just one of those things when you just realize when you're a parent.
Yeah.
But so I'm glad that your boyfriend's like, babe, like, once you have that kid, it's fine. Like, don't pay shit.
Yeah, but I don't want a kid. I just don't want to work, and I don't want to have kids, and I want to have money.
Like, honestly, yeah. Like, honestly, like, I saw this video one time, something about, like, masculine, like, feminine energies, how the masculine is, like, made to work and provide and lead, you know, and I forgot what the feminine energy is, because I'm always in my masculine energy.
Like the caregiver.
Like, yeah, you know, all that stuff. But I just been like, you know what? I'm not saying that I don't want to be self-sufficient, because I will never depend on a man. Like, I will never put myself in a situation where, like, fuck, like, I can't leave this relationship because I'm 100% dependent on this person. Like, that's not my goal. But I definitely want to be with a person that's like, babe, like, I love you and I support you. Like, if you don't want to work, that's fine. Yeah. Like, I'm your fucking man. Like, I got you, babes. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. Like, I'm going to protect you and love you till the end of my days, like, no matter what. Like, my parents were toxic and whatever you want, but my mom has never had to work a day in her life. You know, he's always provided, always taken care of us. And my dad, that's the example he set for me. And that's what I want. Like, I'm not saying, like, I want to be in a toxic relationship, but I want to be able to be with someone that's like, you know what? If you don't want to work, that's fine.
But you know what? Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you're asking for too much, or you're not going to find that. And you are. Like, I really...
No, you will.
Dude, like, 100%, honestly, like, my boyfriend is, like, the greatest person in the world. I really, really feel like... And I, thankfully, too, like, my dad, he's a king. Like, my dad was honestly the best dad, the best husband. And he definitely set that example for me. For me to be like... Okay, like, like, you know how people are like, oh, you're gonna marry someone like your dad? Like, I would love that. Like, my dad is the greatest.
Like, have you seen that little video of this little girl she's crying? It's, like, on TikTok, and she's, like, crying her eyeballs out, and she's like, Mom, like, she's like, Mom, the mom's like, why are you crying, baby? And she's like, because I can't marry my dad. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, that is so cute. You know, obviously she doesn't understand what that means, but, you know, just the love and everything that the dad has already provided for her to cry with so much emotion that she can't marry her dad. Like, literally, that's so cute. And I also want to point out, like, women, if you have that mentality or that you won't be able to find a man that's willing to give you that, you're not going to find it. at the end of the day, you get what you think about and what you believe in. And
what you ask for.
Yeah, if you ask for 50-50, if you're like, yeah, I can do 50-50, you're going to get 50-50. But if you know that that's not what you want, trust me, there's men out there that will definitely love you and give you exactly what you ask for. You just have to be strong enough to get rid of the men who are not what you want. And I feel like that's the issue with women these days. They settle.
Yeah, definitely.
And they feel like, damn, like, I'm not going to find it.
Like where am I going to find better?
Exactly. So, like, this is what
They're
I
out
get.
there.
But,
they're waiting.
babes, you just have to let it go and upgrade your mindset, babies.
Period.
Men have to work harder, bro. It's not just about, you know...
Yeah, I think
the bare minimum no more.
No, hell no. And I feel like a lot of guys, like I think this is a lot of guys where they're like, "Oh, I'm so nice. Why doesn't like she want to go out with me?" Like, bitch, we don't have to go out with you just because you're nice.
You're nice.
Like just because you
Literally.
do all the things that I hate that too. Like I hate that
shit too.
they expect it just because you're not like treating me like shit or cheating on me that like I should. Like, oh, I should bow down to you. Like, whatever, dude. That's what you should just do naturally. Exactly. And if, like, I don't want that, then I don't want that. There's nothing wrong with you or me. I just don't want that.
Exactly. Like, it's your world, babes. Your world.
Yeah,
you make up the rules. You decide how you
pick,
want
Michelle.
Yes.
I know. Goddamn all that. God damn it.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to release my traumas out here.
It's okay. That's why
honestly,
we're here.
we need to talk. We need to have more open conversations about it and not normalize it, but, like, I should probably see a therapist because that freaking relationship to this day, like, talking about it, I know I'm going to, like, get in my feels because it was traumatic as hell. But in that aspect, I know I've taken time. I've been single now for, like, a year, and I've honestly grown to love myself and respect myself. And, like, getting out of that relationship, I kind of took a break and I was like, I lost myself, obviously. I gained weight. I was sad. I was in a dark hole and I fucking lost weight. He, like, restricted me from, like, posting on TikTok and, like, creating, like, my socials into, like, what they are now. So, fuck you. Like, so fuck you. So, yeah, I think after that, I'm good.
I definitely, from personal experience, I loved my therapist, dude. Like, I don't know what your thoughts are on it or if you're even against it, but, like, personally, like, speaking, when I hit, like, my rock bottom, like, my mom was pretty much like, no, you're going to a therapist. Like, I'm sorry. Like, either you make the appointment or I'm going to make it for you. Yeah. And I was like, fuck. Like, okay, whatever. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Because honestly, I thought, like, I don't know why I just had that mentality. Like, I already know everything. Like, what can this fucking therapist tell me to leave him or to do this and that? Like, I've done everything. Like, I just... And my ego was just like, you know everything, you know what to do. Like, you don't need a therapist to tell you what you need to do, you know, or, like, talk you through it. Like, you know, you've already talked about it 1,000 times. Like, you know, that's just kind of like the mentality I had. But obviously, once being there, like, the crazy, like, different perspective that a therapist brings that just, like, super, like, shifts yours, it was just life-changing. So I definitely, like, recommend you or anyone out there listening that's going through something similar, like, don't be closed off to therapy. Like, it could be life-changing,
especially for guys. And the only reason why I say that is because I know I did a TikTok that kind of went viral that I put, like, I'm gonna tell guys I know a spot when I pick them up, and then I'm gonna take them to drop them off at the therapy. And all the comments that I was reading, they all said, like, oh, if you did that, I would think, you know, it was all guys. And I was like, oh, like, you know, like, that's sad. Like, maybe men really do need to, like, go see a therapist, but, like, why do we have to do that? Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, the TikTok portrayed me doing that, but a lot of men actually do need that help because they have, you know, things that they go through that they don't talk about.
I saw one time that said, even if you're okay mentally or, like, you don't have any, like, major trauma or issues, it's still good to go to therapy.
Just go to
therapy.
And
I like, stand by that. Like, I feel like everybody should fucking go to therapy.
Normal.
I feel like I always tell people to go to therapy, but I don't think I'm ready for that. Yeah.
No, it's definitely something that you have to do when you feel ready. Like,
yeah. Like, even when I was at, like, rock bottom emotionally, I was always like, no, I don't need it. Like, I'm fine. I'm going to get out of it. Like, I'll be okay. And, like, in my house, it's always like, you should go to therapy. And then they're like, well, you should go to therapy too. And I'm like, yeah, well, you go to therapy first. Like, we're very defensive about it.
There you go.
Yeah. Like, we're super defensive. And I, like,
hilarious.
I just feel like I can't get myself to go.
Yeah.
Even though when I know I need it or I want to go, I just can't ever get myself to really take that initiative. Also, it's expensive.
It really, and you know
And
what?
I don't have health insurance. I live in America.
I did
You don't have
find
health
webs-
insurance?
No.
No.
Okay, babes, I got you. I
That's
found.
so rich.
I did my research.
Don't tell the government because
I did my research because I did do a podcast on my like EXO Tanahara, and I researched like something called 7 Cups, and it's like a counseling therapy session, or like you can talk to like professionals on that, so you can check. I was like
a chat.
yeah, like a chat,
Oh, okay.
like. And they have a licensed therapist that you can pay like $150 for like the year to talk to or something like that. And I was like, dude, that's not bad for somebody that doesn't have insurance or therapy's expensive. 7 Cups, bro.
I feel like
cups.com.
I think too the reason I don't want to go is because I don't really like opening up. I think I told you guys like I'll open up, but only about what I
Want to.
Do you feel like sentimental, or like does it trigger something in you like when you open up? Or?
No, it's more of like, and I hate that I'm like that. Like, it's more like I dwell, like, if I told you guys something extremely personal, I would go home and be like, they're judging me. Like, they're saying this and this and
Don't
this.
ever feel like that.
Yeah,
No.
but it's not like, it's literally with everybody. Like, I will keep what I feel to me is just like the most kept secrets. And then when I like let them out, I'm like, why did I say that? Like, now they know, like, now this person knows and they're going around. And I know, like, obviously nobody gives a shit. Like, nobody's thinking about that. But in my head, I'm like, they're just judging me like 100%. And so I hate like, I would hate, I know this is dumb, but I don't like the idea of me telling my stuff to someone and them going on about their lives and having that information about me. Even if obviously, I paid for it and like, I don't really know them. Like, I don't like that feeling. Like, I don't like knowing that someone knows something so personal about me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I don't know when I became like that because I used to be very, very, very open. I still am, but again, just like about things that I feel aren't that important.
Yeah.
Well, I just want you to know that if you ever told me anything, I would always listen to you and never judge you, because
Thank you.
maybe
I
I've been through
know.
that, but we can always learn from each other
Yeah.
as like as we're doing this.
Yeah,
But
even
not
like
just
the
be
other
open.
night when I will.
I would judge you hard.
We're definitely gonna judge you.
Working with you, babe.
Yeah, like even the other night when I left, I was like, why the fuck did you say all that stuff? Like, you should just shut the hell up, not
no,
said
no,
anything.
no,
Like, that's
no.
just how I am. I don't know why.
I promise you, I forgot in that moment.
Yeah, and I
don't
know
remember
that.
what you
Yeah, that's
said.
what I mean. Like, I know that, and I know that's how most people are, but I'm like, like, my brain's stupid.
It's trauma.
No,
it's
it's
the trauma,
okay.
babes. It's the trauma.
But just
love.
know, like, for me, I know maybe for you too, like, you can
Oh,
always tell
definitely
us
for me
something,
as well.
and, like,
Definitely
we won't
for me.
judge. And
Thank
we'll
you
always
guys.
listen,
I know.
I never feel like we're going to talk about it.
Ma.
We got you.
My therapist heard everything.
Did you get
Recorded
that?
This is an intervention, y'all. So come in.
Therapy.
Y'all got that? Y'all heard everything?
My FBI agent's over there, like, crying. Oh, man. Well, that is it for today. Thank you, guys. We hope to see you next year. And, yeah, I had a lovely episode. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. A happy New Year's. And, yeah, see you guys next time.
Bye.
Wait. We didn't say bye. Sorry. Go for it.
Where? Oh,
Every time your socials.
Oh, okay. My socials, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at exotanahara, and my TikTok at Lala Bonjour.
And you can find me at bloomingvc.vic at Instagram and bloomingvc on Twitter.
And you can find me at Steph Scott Milk on Instagram and TikTok. So,
Period.
Periana.
bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, besties. I like this episode.
That
I
was
love
cute.
it too.